Quad is ready to start IVF and have some babies with her new man, King. This is the Fly Aunt, and this is my Married to Medicine episode 3 recap. We start the episode at Quad's home. She's making breakfast for her boo. He comes over. He tells her to come outside, and she's like wondering what's going on. She goes outside, and baby, it's a brand new Rolls Royce outside waiting on Quad. Yes, King has come through. Quad is a ooey gushy chocolate chip cookie, and you can tell that they're really in love. She really loves this man. She's ready to have children with him. She's ready to start IVF. All of the things. She just said her last marriage wasn't the appropriate. It wasn't the one. It's not the one that she should have kids with. And I believe there's a rumor circulating right now that she could be already pregnant and they could be engaged. All right. So the next scene, we see Toya, Avery, and Eugene. Eugene has started working for himself. He's doing hormone replacement currently. So they stop by the office. Toya wants to convince Eugene to get into Botox. He's like, he does not want to do that, but he'll look into getting someone in the office that can handle the Botox. She's like, it would be good money. Da 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 da. Eugene just explains to her, it's just me by myself here. And right now, I just want to go at a pace that I can handle. And she was like, well, I can help. I can answer the phone. And he looked at Toya like, you're not going to do that. So Avery is going through puberty. He's 12. Toya is all in his business, asking if he got hair down there, asking if he had a wet dream. Poor Avery. He's answering the questions, but he's very uncomfortable. And Eugene is trying to talk to his son in a very father-son professional way. And it's so embarrassing for Avery. I kind of feel bad for him. So the next scene, Simone and Cecil are at the boys' condo. The condo is filthy. I guess they came over there to help clean. They got biohazard suits on and masks and all of that. And guess what? The boys aren't there to help them clean. So they're going around and they're cleaning up these 2 adult boys' condos. And then they leave a note, basically what they're charging them for. And then they take back one of the expensive Bluetooth speakers. Tell me, if you're going to your adult children's condo that you pay for and then you're going to clean it up, I mean, these guys, they got it real good. Adopt me, Simone and Cecil. Adopt me. So Phaedra goes over to Contessa's and Sweet Tea is on her way over there as well. They sit down for a little lunch. They wanted to, chop it up. Tea is like, I know the elephant in the room is me not being invited to Quad's birthday party. And based on the information that Contessa and Phaedra gave about, her introducing her new man and all, it was a boyfriend reveal and all of that. She says she's perfectly fine with not being invited. It is all to the good. And I just want to say something. Contessa's body is serving everything. Tessa has an amazing body, okay? So the next thing that we get into is the girls think that, what's going to happen with Heavenly and Contessa and what's going to happen with Sweet Tea and Heavenly. And, Sweet Tea basically says, Heavenly going to do what she going to do and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. They call Heavenly an internet terrorist, because they say Heavenly is always starting stuff on her social media. Married to Medicine is even rolling clips from some of the disgusting things that Heavenly has said on her social media platform, not only about Sweet Tea, but about Contessa and her husband. So again, they decide that, we should have a trip, another girls trip. And Sweet Tea was like, what about a hold down part 2? And Phaedra was like, child, I don't know about none of that. So they decided on a girls trip. So now we're at Dr. Heavenly's office, and her son is going to be a dentist as well, and he's in dental school. He is so handsome. And he's trying, Heavenly is trying to prepare him and show him the ropes, try to show him, basically bedside manner. And her son, he was just fumbling around and making all kind of mistakes and referring to Heavenly as mama. And she was like, I'm Dr. Combs now. I'm Dr. Combs now. And she was really showing him the ropes. And I prefer to see Heavenly in this kind of state, being a mother to her children, this kind of aspect. I would like to see more of that from Heavenly. I feel like Married to Medicine acts like Dr. Jackie is the only doctor on the show, but you do have Dr. Heavenly, who is a dentist, and you do have Dr. Simone. And I'm sorry to say, but Jackie is boring. She may have celebrity clientele that she talks to, but she is boring. Speaking of Jackie, the next scene that we see from Jackie is seeing one of her patients in office. It's a lesbian couple. The more masculine presenting one is going to have fibroid surgery in order for her to do her IVF, and it's so that she can get pregnant, and that's it. So then the next scene we have is Apollo at Phaedra's home. He does not get to come inside because Phaedra said Apollo is crazy. He's picking up the boys, and that's because they're going on this girls' trip to Orlando. They're going to the Westgate Rodeo Ranch in Orlando, Florida. I never knew that they had that there. So let me know if you guys have ever been to the Westgate Rodeo Ranch in Orlando. So he picks the kids up. Phaedra questions him about Toya, saying that she ran into him. He lets her know Toya was being a little messy and trying to get in his business, but it was all good. And my thing, Apollo is not new to this. He's true to this. He's been on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. He knows how all of this goes. He's not unfamiliar. I like that Phaedra is showing more of Apollo, because we need to see their dynamic and relationship, because to be honest with you, Phaedra isn't giving much of anything. So that brings me to the next scene. So while they arrive to Orlando, let me backtrack. We got to talk about Sweet Tea and Greg. So they're at their home and they're sitting down. They're just having a nice little smoothie, and they talking about the pregnancy journey and IVF and all of that. And Greg basically tells Sweet Tea he feels as though that, they need to have a baby within the next 2 years, or he's opting out because of his age. And this is what happens when you do marry a man of a certain age. And Sweet Tea gets a little emotional. She was like, oh, you putting the pressure on me now. And he's like, I don't want to put any pressure on you. And again, I'm going to say this again. Greg and Sweet Tea love is very, very real. It is very apparent that man loves that loves his wife. Guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and follow me on my social media platforms, The Fly Aunt, on Instagram, TikTok, and of course, good old YouTube. All right, so now the girls meet to the airport. They get on their flight to head down to Orlando. They arrive safely. They get into their cars, and they're going to the Westgate Rodeo Ranch. And how they start the trip off with a prayer with Dr. Heavenly, Quad, and 2 others I don't really remember, but they start off with a prayer, praying over what they would like for the girls' trip. They arrive, they get introduced to the ranch. It is huge. They get a little history about cowboys, and they sit down at the table, and everybody's being nice, but then Toya goes ahead and she goes on to Phaedra, and she's like, look, I feel like we share a lot in this group, and we get very personal, and I feel like with you, Phaedra, it's very surface level. You don't share much of anything. And Phaedra told her she basically not gonna answer it or get into it with her at all. And I'm like, I don't know how everybody's excited for Phaedra to be back on their TV screens, but they're absolutely right. Phaedra gave nothing last year. She gave y'all nothing. She didn't even read anybody really last year. So are you guys hoping to see more from Phaedra? Do you agree with Toya or do you disagree with Toya? Because that's going to bring the episode to the end and the recap to the end. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and turn on your notifications so you are notified when I drop another recap. So until the next recap, Auntie loves you. Bye-bye.